In the heart of a bustling city, on the rooftop of a modest apartment building, a weathered wooden table became an unlikely messenger. Residents often visited the rooftop to escape the noise below, but no one lingered long enough to form connections, until one day, a note appeared. The note read, "To whoever enjoys this rooftop as much as I do. Have you ever noticed how peaceful the city looks from up here? Like it's holding its breath." Just a neighbor, Amelia, a freelance graphic designer often working odd hours, found the note one afternoon while sketching by the rooftop garden. Intrigued, she replied on the back of the same piece of paper, "It's my favorite view in the city. Funny how it feels like the only place you can breathe." Another neighbor. She left the note on the table, curious if just a neighbor would respond. Days later, another note appeared, folded neatly under a small stone. "Breathing up here is easy. It's living down there that's hard." Jamelia smiled, writing back, "Maybe that's why we come up here, to remind ourselves how small the city's problems look from above." The exchange continued. Over weeks, the two strangers shared pieces of their lives. Amelia learned that Jay worked long nights and loved jazz music. Shared her passion for art and her frustration with creative blocks. They left small gifts alongside their notes, a packet of coffee, a sketch of the skyline, a CD of classic jazz hits. Despite never meeting, a connection began to form. One evening, Amelia decided to visit the rooftop earlier than usual, hoping to catch a glimpse of Jay. She brought a thermos of coffee and waited, but no one appeared. What she didn't know was that James, Jay, a night shift paramedic, had planned the same thing, arriving minutes after she'd left. He found her empty thermos and smiled at her note. "Maybe one day we'll share a cup of coffee instead of notes." James wrote back, "I'd like that, but mystery can be fun too." June night. A sudden storm swept through the city. Amelia rushed to the rooftop to secure her plants and found James's latest note soaked through, the ink barely legible. She pieced together what she could. "Hard day. Rooftop feels like. Can't wait to." Amelia felt a pang of concern. She realized how much she had come to care about the stranger behind the notes. The next day, she left a bold message. "We should meet. I'll be here Friday at 8 p.m. No more mystery." A Friday arrived, and Amelia waited on the rooftop, her heart racing. She worried he might not come, or worse, that their connection wouldn't feel the same in person. At exactly 8 p.m., James stepped onto the rooftop, his guitar slung over his shoulder. He paused when he saw her, recognition flashing in his eyes. "You're A," he said, smiling. "And you're J," she replied, her nerves melting into relief. They laughed, awkward at first, but quickly falling into the same easy rhythm they'd shared through their notes. James played a soft tune on his guitar while Amelia sketched him, the skyline framing the moment. After that night, Amelia and James spent more time together, sharing rooftop sunsets and stories over coffee. They still left notes for each other on the table, not out of necessity, but as a way to keep their tradition alive. The rooftop became their sanctuary, a place where their lives intertwined against the backdrop of the city they both loved. Months later, on the anniversary of their first note, James left a message that changed everything. "You've made the rooftop my favorite place, and my life a little brighter. Will you share it with me, forever?" Jamelia found the note and smiled, tears filling her eyes. She wrote back, "Forever sounds perfect.